You make that sound easy, and I'm sure that there is a logical progression. It does make sense. But I know that you and your colleagues in Madison have coined a number of phrases that maybe reflect that logical progression. One of them is pre means never. Another one is the criterion of ultimate functioning. Another one is the term natural proportions. Could you describe what those mean in relation to that?
One of my heroes, to this day, is Bill Bricker, who used to be who was one of the early people when the first Kennedy Fellows, when John Kennedy took over. And he's an Ohio State graduate and worked at Peabody in Tennessee. And I had, in the early '60s, you have Don Baer and Bill Bricker, and not a whole lot else in our field. This was when your group, the Nebraska crowd, were doing encore, and you were just starting. But I didn't get to your literature. I got to the literature of Kansas and the literature of Peabody. And if you're at a Southern college, it's certainly expected. And so Ed Sontag and a couple of other people put together this little group of Doug Guess and Wayne Saylor at Kansas and Bill Bricker at Tennessee and Mark Gold at Illinois and us. And so we'd meet whenever we could. We'd talk, we'd share information, we'd try to make these plans. And this was the foundation of what's now known as TASH, the Association with People with Severe Handicap. And one day, Bill Bricker and I he was in Madison, and we had a drink, and we had another drink, and we were talking and pontificating, and then we just went for a walk, We just went for a walk around my house and around the block, and he said, where does all this lead? He said, if we get what we want, let's say we win, we get what we want for these people. I mean, ultimately, where is it going to be? I mean, ultimately, where are they going to function? And you sort of forget. That was just a phrase. It was 1974 at the time. I believe it was 1974. And so I said, come back. And he said, Bill, that's the key question right now. We're just starting in this. We're challenging assumptions. We're breaking down idols. We're the new kids on the block. And that's a key question. Ultimately, where do we want these people to function? And so then we started talking about it, and we decided that, that maybe should be the guidepost. Because everybody was doing a little study in language and a little study in motor and a little this and a little demonstration project with a cottage and an institution or a little token economy system here, and there was all these little splinters, but no professional that we knew, no professionals were asking that. Ultimately, where do we want these people to function? Parents did, you see. Parents did. They wanted to know if they died, what kind of life my child would have. We didn't. We didn't think about things like that in those days. And so we put this paper together, ultimately went, and that became our guidepost. So then we start saying, well, if we did this, if we gave this kid one-to-one instruction in school, where does it lead? Ultimately, where does it lead? Well, it leads nowhere. If we taught this kid to sort popsicle sticks and pipe cleaners in a simulated workshop, where does it lead? Well, it leads nowhere. So we started saying, well, if you keep in front of you this criterion, ultimately, where is the person going to function? What's the most decent environment the person can be in? How can the person make the best contribution? Now, what do we have to do to get them there? And you reference everything you do against that standard. It's tough. It's tough. I mean, it's right in front of your eyes all the time. And that's what happened to us.